yourself, or you can never say how you really feel. Until now, yeah. When the sun down, my mind is on the rundown. I be feeling like my happiness is on the come down. But when I speak to you, I feel like it's a touchdown. Finally found me someone I can really trust now. I always have so much to say, but no one to say it to. If I can talk to you today, I know I can make it through. So let's have this conversation, like a radio station. So let's have this conversation, like a radio station.
It's finally Friday, and it's time for the conversation with Maria Byrd.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. You are listening to The Conversation with Maria Byrd. Guess what, you guys? I'm super excited about today's show because we have with us a very special guest. She is a licensed minister, a playwright, former radio host, an inspirational speaker, and published author. She has blessed many with her testimony and message of when life is full of misery and you are a mess, there is still room for a miracle. Her mission and passion is to help as many people overcome all pain and live the purposeful life ordained by God. Please help me welcome to the show my very special guest, Angela Stevenson. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you so much, Maria. I'm happy to be here.
Yes, it's an honor. Yes, it's an honor to have you.
Thank you. Honored to be here.
Yes, and so, how are you?
I am great. I'm blessed and highly favored, as we always say. We're blessed and highly favored, but that's really true. It's not a cliche. I'm blessed and highly favored of God.
Yes,
I'm blessed.
ma'am. Wow. Well, I'm just so excited about today's show. There's so much we're going to cover, but before we get started, there may be someone that's being exposed to you and your ministry for the very first time. So can you just tell the people a little bit about yourself?
Wow, let's see. I'm a mother, first of all. Awesome child of God, of course, but I am just your ordinary person who has went through life's challenges and overcome. So I say that above anything else is that I am an overcomer because I've overcome so many things, and I know later on we'll talk about some of those things that we have overcome. But I am a minister. I'm an entrepreneur. What else am I? Conference host. Have an awesome conference coming up. So many things as well as an author. So I am many things. I'm not what's the song says? I am every woman.
Yes.
I don't want to say I'm every woman, but I do a lot of things.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Well, again, it's definitely an honor to have you with us on today, and I'm so excited because, as you said, you have an awesome conference that's coming up. It's going to be on August the 16th through the 18th. The Soap Encounter. Can you just tell us about the Soap Encounter?
Oh my, I am so excited about the Soap Encounter. The Soap Encounter stands for Successfully Overcome All Pain. And I apologize, I put a piece of peppermint in my mouth, so overlook that, please. So Successfully Overcome All Pain. A lot of us have dealt with a lot of life circumstances, painful situations, trials and traumas, whether it's present or it's in our past. So God gave me this vision to assist people to overcome those things. Because sometimes we are stuck in that place of pain and we don't know how to overcome it.
Yes.
And just from my own life experiences, how God has allowed me to overcome so many things in my life, that I felt like it was imperative that I reach back and try to help some other people.
Yes.
Whether you're young or old, we all have some type of painful situation or trauma that we've experienced. And it affects us in so many different ways if we don't overcome it.
Come on.
And sometimes we think that we have overcome and that we've dealt with it, but it's hidden. Sometimes it's some hidden things, and sometimes we react to certain things and we don't understand why. But SOAP is not your ordinary conference.
Yes.
We have some phenomenal speakers that are going to be there. Minister Katie Bowe will be with us on Friday. We have a long list of lineups on Friday, but then Thursday we have Pastor Jeremy Tuck will be with us, along with some life coaches. Dr. Latoya Williams will be there. I don't even want to start naming names because I always miss somebody because we have so many phenomenal people that are coming.
Yes, ma'am.
Friday night, Pastor John Hanna will be there, all the way from Chicago, Illinois.
Wow.
Be there.
Awesome.
Saturday, Christian A. Porter will be there in the house with us.
Come on, yes.
We have some great, phenomenal people, and the list goes on. So come out. The awesome thing about SOAP is that it's free right now. Yes, you can register for free. So you're going to get all this Power Pack weekend.
Wow.
Starts on a Thursday, all the way through Saturday for free. So registration is now open for free.
Yes.
So you can go to www.soapencounter.com and register now for free. Now go ahead and register soon because we're going to be cutting that off really soon though. But right now you can register. We're just excited about the great things that God's going to do there. We have some life coaches, some therapists coming, so we can get to the real issue of some problems.
That's important.
Very
That is
important.
so important. And I love the fact that as of right now, there is no fee. It's absolutely free. So that means that we have absolutely no excuse.
No excuse. No excuse. We started out with registration. So we had some VIP people that register. Some people said, I'm going to register. I'm going to pour back into you. And God just said, you know what, Angela, if you really want to reach the people, make it free. Make it free. And so I had to trust God on blind faith because I'm like, wait a minute, Lord. You really telling me to make this conference free? This is expensive.
Wow.
But I'm being obedient to God because I believe that during the soap encounter that lives are going to be changed.
Yes.
Lives are going to be changed.
Absolutely.
And if you really want to overcome, if you really want to be healed,
Come on,
delivered, and
Angela.
set free, then you don't have an excuse. Can't use money as excuse because you're able to just walk through the doors.
Wow. I love that. I absolutely love that. And so, I just wanted to dive a little bit deeper into, because you talked about how the Lord gave you the concept for that conference. And so can we just talk about before it all came into fruition, can we just talk about during that brainstorming process, when the Lord originally gave you the concept?
Whew. The Lord was dealing with me
Come on.
personally about some things in my life.
Yes.
And so how sometimes you experience things and you use it as a crutch, be like, oh, if this hadn't happened to me,
Wow.
then I would be further along in
That's
life.
good.
If they hadn't abused me, then I would be a better person.
Right.
And so I used that as a crutch for years
Angela.
for a reason why I was not succeeding in life and living out my purpose. And one day I said that out of my mouth, and God said, how much longer are you going to use that as an excuse to not be obedient? Because then I was like, my past, nobody wanted to listen to me. I was just giving God all kind of excuses about why I couldn't move forward in ministry and what he wanted me to do. And when I was speaking that, he said, how much longer? I heard him so clearly. How much longer are you going to use that as an excuse? And I just stopped in my tracks and was like, Lord, then help me to overcome it. And that was really like the original place of where Successfully Overcome All Pain was birthed, the soap encounter. And really at that time, it really wasn't, I wasn't thinking of it as a conference,
Right.
but he gave me Successfully Overcome All Pain. And I was just thinking I was going to do a workbook or maybe do a book about it. And then God was just like, no, you need to reach some people. You need to do this as a conference. And I sat on it for like 2 years. I was like, I don't know, Lord. I'm just, still giving God
Right.
excuses.
Right.
But I heard the Lord say last year, it's time to move forward. It's now time to birth this into fruition. Because sometimes you can be pregnant with something for so long. And you have to give birth sooner or later,
Come
right?
on, Angela. Yes.
Because if not, you're going to burst from the pressure. So the pressure was building, and it was time for me to give birth. It's time for me to give birth to soap.
Yes.
So
And
had to
I
be
love
obedient.
this because we're already right in the middle of ministering to somebody that's
Yes.
listening or watching, because of the fact, like you said, that you could be asking yourself, why have I gone through these things?
Yes.
But you don't even understand that in the midst of those experiences lie your divine purpose.
This purpose, yes.
Come
There's
on.
purpose behind the pain.
Woo!
Yes.
Talk
it is.
about that.
It
Talk
is.
about
There's
that.
purpose behind it. When we're going through it, we don't understand why. Because we're like, why, Lord, me? Why am I having to go through this? We're asking all these whys. But sometimes it's after the fact, after you've been delivered through it, that you realize, he brought me through so I can go back and help somebody else. It was a purpose. Because while you're going through, you're building strength. And patience and long suffering,
us.
all these things, the gifts of the fruits of the Spirit. So, of course, you can't see that right then because you're like, I just want to get out of it. But you have to go through the process.
You helping somebody.
You have to go through the process.
I'm telling you, this is helping us because, there may be someone that's right there in the middle of the process.
Yes, in the
Maybe
middle
you're
of
in transition, as we like to say. But it like you said, it is pain. I mean, it's purpose attached to the pain.
Attached to the pain, yes.
Wow. And I love that. You heard a still small voice. You heard the Holy Spirit. God spoke to you.
Yes.
And ministered to you for the theme of this conference, Successfully Overcoming All Pain. Wow.
And I think that's the key word, successfully.
Ooh.
You know,
Come on.
we talk about that just for a second,
Yes.
successfully, because sometimes we try so many things and
Come
we fail,
on.
whether it's a diet and we fail at it, you know,
Uh-oh.
we're going to lose weight, we try it for a day or two and we
Come
fail, or we say we're going to start school and we may register but never go attend, you know, so you're not successful because you didn't complete it. But with God's deliverance, it's successful. You don't have to do anything. So when he delivers you and he brings you out, it's going to be successful. So we need some tools and some techniques and some motivation and how to overcome, how to get out of these situations.
Yes, it's so important. And I love how you just kind of, you know, I don't want to get ahead of myself. Ooh, this is good. I don't want to get ahead of myself. And so let me ask you this, you know, just share with us, you know, your story. Like, who is the person? Because you touched on it about the different things, you know, your experiences, the things you had to overcome. Who is the person of
Jesus.
Angela Stevenson? What are her experiences?
How much time do we have?
Yes.
Well, let me just say this. Sometimes we feel like, and it has been my experience, so
Yes.
it's not just how we feel, but it has been my experience. Growing up, so first of all, I was adopted. So now that's a good thing.
Yes.
But as a child, when I realized that I was adopted, my parents didn't keep it from me. I felt rejected from my birth mom. So here I am as a child, about 8 or 9 years old, learning that I'm adopted. These are not my real parents, but they love me. My PK, I was raised a PK's kid, and I had been in this home since I was like 15 months old, so that's all I knew.
Yes.
And that's even unheard of in itself.
Yes.
So, 8 years old, I found out that I was adopted. Well, at that time, I hadn't even been adopted, but that my parents had given me up for adoption. So I felt this rejection. Didn't really understand the word rejection at the time, but it was a spirit hovering over me that I carried from years, from a child all the way through my adulthood.
Yes.
That if your own mother didn't want you, because that was in my head,
Yes.
then who else wants you? So in relationships, I became clingy because I'm like, my mother left me, so I got to hold on to anybody else that said they loved me. So that was one thing. Then even after that, from the age of about 5 to 16 years old, I was abused sexually. And this PK's home now. So I was going to church, but I'm going through all this drama and behind the scenes. I'm having a smile and I'm singing and stuff, but I'm torn and I'm broken inside because I got this big secret that I'm hiding. So it led me to a life of promiscuity. And I felt that because of the abuse, that sex and love was synonymous. They tied in together. So if a young man told me that he loved me, then sex was automatically what I was supposed to give him, because that's the person that was abusing me was telling me that they love me, but you know, sex is involved. Wow. So I was confused. I was a confused child.
Come on.
All the way through life, I got married at the age of 16, first time. This is a lot of things this is a part that people don't know about me. I got married at the age of 16. So you have to read the book Misery, Mess, and Miracles to get the full details of why that happened. But trying to run away from one abusive relationship, which was happening in my home, and ran into another abusive relationship where I was being physically abused now. When I say physical abuse, I mean I was being physically abused.
Wow.
It was some knockdown, blowout stuff. At the age of 16, I knew God had experiences with him, but I'm confused as to why God is allowing me to go through all of this. God, if you say you love me, why am I dealing with all this pain? I haven't done anything. I'm just looking for love. Basically, I'm just looking for love. I didn't get it where I thought I should be getting it from. And here's a person who said they love me as well, but now here's another type of abuse. End up getting out of that relationship. During that transition, I got pregnant. Had a child that was premature, so here I am with another situation. 17 years old with a baby that's sickly. So many things. Later on, I get married again. Still haven't healed. Still haven't dealt. Still going to church. People prophesying all over me and around me, but they couldn't see the pain that I was dealing with. Get married again. Trying to commit suicide.
Come on, Angela, help us.
Took almost a whole bottle of pills and didn't die from it. The Lord just allowed me to regurgitate it back up because it wasn't my time to die.
It wasn't your time.
So I'm still hurting, going through all this pain and ministry, but I have all this hurt on the inside. So sometimes you can be in the church and spiritually dying and nobody sees it. Went through another divorce. Because that was an abusive relationship in itself as well. Still haven't dealt with this hurt. So if you don't deal with it, I remember my godfather preached a message one time, you got to kill the spider. Otherwise, the spider webs will keep coming. So I had a lot of spider webs keep appearing in different areas of my life. And we get rid of the spider web, but the spider.
Come on, Angela.
The real issue.
Come on.
Was still hidden. We couldn't find the spider. So finally, after this last divorce that I went through, I heard a word by Bishop Stephen Thomas in Dawson, Georgia, God's emergency room. And he talked about the healing process that you have to go through. And that began my healing process, but it was a journey. It was the beginning of my healing, but it was a long journey because there were so many things that were hidden that I didn't want to deal with, that I hadn't dealt with, and the acknowledgement of the abuse that I had went through in my home, because I'm covering. That's what we do as abusers. We cover for people. So in covering, you're really lying because you're not being truthful about the situations that are in your life. So, we can dress up this outside, and everybody, oh, she's so beautiful, she's pretty, she's talented, she's anointed. I was a mess on the inside. Wow. So I was covering that up. So through my journey, again, I was using these crutches. Oh, Lord, I would do this, but that, and sometimes people know things about you, so they use that, your past against you. So that was an excuse. I was, okay, God, I got a past, I'm this and that. And that's when God said, you know what, how much longer?
Wow.
Are you going to use that? So many other things that I could just talk about, but that's who I am. So I am qualified to be the host of Successfully Overcoming All Pain, because if anybody can talk about overcoming pain, I can.
Wow.
I'm a witness that God is a healer
yes,
of
he
pain.
Is. He is a healer of pain.
Yes, he is.
And I commend you. Because you have done just your theme. You have successfully overcome all pain.
Yes,
and I love it because I see your pain and it turned into your purpose.
Yes.
And so, I'm so excited, about what God is doing, through you, through this awesome conference. So many people that's dealing with pain are going to be ministered to.
Yes.
And
it's so many areas you touch on. It could be I still haven't got over the fact that I got a divorce, it could be the loss of a child that you're still grieving, low self-esteem for whatever reason. We're just insecure about ourselves.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about those things. Sometimes we go to church, and this is for the church and the unchurched. Because I'm a PK's Kennedy, raised in church all my life, that's all I know. But this is for the church and the unchurched, because we have a lot of, regardless of where you are in life and who you are, race, your background, your financial status, social status, we all have some area of pain. And if you want to be set free, then soap is the place you need to be.
Wow, this is so incredible. This is incredible. Because it's so necessary. It's different things you touched on. Let's talk about that. Let's go there. But let's talk about suppressed pain. Because like you said, oftentimes we feel as though we may be over something, but we don't realize and recognize that it's still right there.
It's still right there. We've learned how to function in our dysfunction. You know what I'm saying? So, as we were growing up as kids, whatever goes on in this household stays in this household.
Wow.
So you don't share certain things, whether it was abuse or just something that you're dealing with internally, because we all want to look like we got it together.
Ooh.
So we hide, we're not transparent with people. So we carry this facade.
That's
we
good.
walk around with a facade and we hide it, whether you're male or female. So the conference is not just for women, it's male too. Because I found that even when I started doing soap, we're talking with a lot of male friends and people, even in ministry, that men carry a lot of hurt. They probably carry more than we carry because they have to be macho. They're taught to hide pain from birth. Men don't cry, boys don't cry. So that pain that we are carrying, we're masking. It comes out. You wonder why you're yelling at your children, or you're mad at everybody. Can't keep a job. Instability. So those things that we hide, it's because it's affecting us. In one way or the other. It's gonna come out.
It's gonna come out.
It's gonna come out.
I'm telling you, because you touched on something. Because you know what? It will seep out in other areas of our lives.
It will.
Like you said, you will wonder, why am I single? Now, some of us, I'm going to say us. I'm married, but I'm going to say us.
Yes.
Because, some of us may say, well, I'm single because, I'm going through a time of just purification.
Right.
Right. But you know what? Some of us are single.
Come on.
Because we mean as a junkyard dog.
That's it.
Because of the suppressed pain.
That's it. We're angry at everybody. So we angry we showing that we're angry at everybody, but really it's one or two people that the pain stems from.
Woo.
You know, so we can't get back at them, so we take it out the next things close to us. Sometimes that's our spouse, sometimes it's our children, sometimes it's the co-workers that we work with. You know, we're just angry. So it's going to come out, and unless we deal with it, it's going to keep affecting us. We have to deal with it.
And you said a key word, transparency. We have to begin to have those open and honest conversations.
Yes.
You know, I love how you said at the conference it's going to be a therapist there.
Yes, yes.
That's key. That's critical.
Girl, let's talk about that, because you know, us as a community, we feel like we've always been told, you know, just pray about it, you know.
God.
And there's nothing. There is a subject matter that's going to be dealt with at the conference called prayer and Prozac.
Wait a minute. What'd you say?
Prayer and Prozac. Now, you know, that's the prescription that they subscribe to those who are depressed or what have you. You may want to call it prayer and a prescription, but it's titled Prayer and Prozac. And what I mean by that is that along with the prayer, sometimes we may need some medication to help us, because we go to the doctor for our heart if our heart is not beating right. So we go see a cardiologist, right? If we just internally have issues, we go see an internist. We go see our internal medicine doctor.
Come on.
But if we have some mental issues, we're told we're not supposed to go there because it's going to make us crazy. But what's going to make you crazy is if you don't, because you need to go there. That's the reason. They're doctors, psychologists, psychiatrists. They are certified. They are medically trained to treat issues of the mind.
That's right.
So when your mind is sick, you need to go see the doctor that can help you.
No, that's true. That's true. Because, you know, there's a lot of times when we go through things, especially as a small child, like you said, it's depressed. It might not be in that conscious mind, but it's in that subconscious mind. And again, because it haven't been dealt with, it's right there.
It's right there.
And it's rotten. And it's stinking, and it's festering, and it's seeping out in different areas of our lives because we haven't dealt with it.
And what happens when you don't deal with infected areas? You infect somebody else.
Whew.
So if I'm infected, then I link up with you. If you got a weak spot, then I'm going to infect you.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So it just keeps going on until, and you pass it down generation to your children.
Now, come on.
You know, and then they pass it on to somebody else, to their children. So somebody got to stop the curse. Somebody has to stop the curse. We got to stop that generational curse sometimes. And sometimes it seems like it's hard, but sometimes it's just as simple of dealing with the issue. You know what? This happened to me. I don't like it. Maybe I did some things. I reacted according to what was done to me. So I'm guilty on some issues, which is the reason why I said misery, mess, and miracles. Because sometimes when life is full of misery, but you are a mess, we got some messy places in our life.
Yes.
So we can't help what's dealt to us. That's misery. It causes us some misery. But how we react, we can put ourselves in some messy situations. But there's still room for a miracle.
Yes.
So I don't care how messy life has been, how miserable it has been. God is still a God of miracles.
Yes.
And the miracle is that he can bring you out.
Ooh.
And I'm a witness. I'm a witness to that.
Absolutely. That God can bring us out. And, you know, we can express a miracle even if we're a mess.
That's it. Yes. You can experience a miracle even if you're a mess.
Even if you are a mess. Because oftentimes when we think about the enemy, the adversary, the devil, you know, he is an accuser of the brethren.
That's it.
And so he will make us feel as if we are not worthy of that miracle.
Right.
We are not worthy. But the devil in hell is a liar.
He is a liar.
Yes.
Because he plays on our mind anyway. It's a mind thing. It's a mind thing.
It's a mind thing.
And if you can get the mind delivered, get the head delivered, then everything else will fall in place.
That's true.
But you got to get the mind delivered. Our thoughts, if you can change your thoughts, you change your life. And the devil will play upon that because he'll make you think this is the life that's designed for you. Don't nobody love you.
Wow.
You know, you in this alone. Nobody got these issues but you. And if you dwell on that,
come on,
you become what you think. You know, the more you think on it is who you become.
That's
and
right.
then you start to react that way. You start to act that way. So, we got to clear
and
out
you know,
the mind.
I love this because we're really touching and talking about, you know, the different strongholds that'll take place.
Yes.
People don't understand that, you know, when the enemy has that spirit of depression or oppression or pain hanging over your life, you know, you experience different things. It's not just pain or depression or oppression, but it's like a tormenting spirit.
It is.
I mean, you start having nightmares.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
can we talk about that? Can you just identify or just share regarding, just the different times, those, that, like you said, that internal dialogue.
Yes. It causes you to become fearful sometimes.
Wow.
Fearful of people, what people gonna think about you. I've always been an outgoing person, so to speak, but I didn't want the limelight to shine on me too much, Angela, because I didn't want anybody really to see that I was really messed up on the inside.
Come on.
So even though in my talking and laughing and stuff, sometimes that's a cover up. Pay attention to the people who are always got to be the life of the party. Because those are sometimes the ones who carry the most pain.
Wow.
Because that's their shield. That's their protection from anyone seeing really what's behind the scenes. Sometimes our most prominent preachers and speakers and evangelists, it seems like who they have it all together behind the closed doors have the most mess in their life. So we mask a lot of things. We just don't show it sometimes. But we all, and I know sometimes when you're in the limelight and when you're in ministry, you can't share everything with everybody. But you need to have somebody that you can trust.
Yes.
That you can release these things to, who, whether it's your mentor, your bishop, your pastor, your best friend that you trust, that can pray with you, that can minister to you because we need ministry. We pour out a lot of times to people, and when we're pouring out, we need someone to pour back into us. So you need somebody that you can talk to, that you can minister to, and that can pour into you, and it can help you through some of these things, because you cannot do it by yourself.
That's it. You cannot do it by yourself. And I love this. And one of the things that I love about my Apostle Travis Jennings, is that, he taught us the significance of venting up and not venting down.
Yes.
And what that means is that, we don't want the blind leading the blind.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's so, you don't want to share all the different things that you're going through with someone, again, like you said, that may take advantage of that information.
Yes.
Right? But we
that's
want to,
key.
someone that's accountable. Maybe it's your pastor. Like you said, maybe it's a therapist or someone that, has went to school, has been licensed. Like we said, it's so important, so critical that we are responsible in who we share, that information with. And so I love this revelation that you're giving us, you accountability partners.
Yes, we need it.
We need accountability partners. This is awesome. And so you guys, we're getting ready to take a break. But before we take a break, Angela, I just want you to just elaborate a little bit more on that, the significance of those accountability partners.
Yes. I am a firm believer that you need accountability partners.
Yes.
I had a best friend that I talked to her a lot, and this was before I even went and sat on the couch. So I say, laid on somebody's couch and talked to them about what was going on with me. But even through that, it was healing for me because I was able to release some of it. Like when you have a boiling pot of water on the stove and the lid is on.
Absolutely.
So it's you see the steam kind of seeping out, but when you take it off, it all comes out because you need to release that pressure. And if you don't, again, it affects you in so many different ways. And so I had this one friend that I was able to trust with a lot of things that I had dealt with, and she had been through some similar things, but some things mine was a little deeper, but at least she understood to some capacity. And you have to have, because even when I was married, this was under trusted, I shared some things with my husband, and he didn't understand it. And so sometimes people say, "Oh, just get over it because that's happened already." That was the worst thing that he could have told me, because I felt like, then you're not relating to me intimately in that way. Emotionally, you didn't pick up on the emotions I was dealing with. So it caused me to shut down, because I'm like, if he don't feel my pain, then nobody else is. So here I go again. I'm internalizing this. I'm keeping it all to myself. So it's imperative that sometimes you think your closest people you can trust, but to seek God for accountability to who you can talk to, whether again it's your pastor, seek God, because you don't want them you don't want to share it and then they get over the pulpit and talk about you, because then that'll shut somebody else down. Shut you down. Okay, he's talking about me. So you have to be careful and prayerful about who you minister to, who you share things with, so that they can minister back to you. And again, if it's a counselor, whether it's your friend, mother, somebody, find somebody, but be prayerful about it, because we do need to have someone that you can talk to.
Yes.
And you can trust. And it's going to give you good sound advice.
Yes.
Even with the counselors, even though they may be certified, try to find a Christian counselor.
That's right.
Because they're gonna stay in the Word.
No, that's critical.
You know, that's critical. So you need someone that is not only give you the clinical background advice, but can also give you some spiritual advice, because they're going to keep you in the Word, because I'm a firm believer in the Word.
Yes.
I'm not saying prayer don't work. Yes, it does. Because it has helped me to get me to where I am today. But sometimes we need a little bit more, you need something else added to that. But yes, it's imperative that we have an accountability partner.
Yes. Accountability partners are critical. OMG. Yes, this is absolutely amazing. Well, you guys, we're getting ready to take a quick commercial break, but don't go anywhere. I want you to keep it locked right here. You are listening to The Conversation with Maria Byrd.
Thank you for tuning in to The Conversation with Maria Byrd.
So let's have this conversation
On WIGO 1570 AM radio.
You can connect with Maria Byrd here Fridays on The Conversation at 11 a.m. Go to www.mariabyrd.org. You can sign up for her newsletter. Check out the latest from The Conversation. You can be the next guest, have your song featured, or donate to the cause. Learn about marketing opportunities. Check out the giveaways, special promotions, free tickets, and the latest from Maria Byrd Publications. Again, log on to www.mariabyrd.org. That's www.mariabyrd.org.
WIGO 1570 AM radio.
Jesus, you're my best friend.
Conversation with Maria Byrd.
So let's have this conversation
On WIGO 1570 AM Radio.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back. You are listening to The Conversation with Maria Byrd. You just heard the hit song, I Got a Friend, by none other than musical genius Luke G. And guess what, you guys? It is available for purchase on all digital media outlets. Not only that, you guys, be sure to connect with me. I am on social media. I'm on Facebook at Maria Byrd, on Instagram at maria.bird. You can also follow me on The Conversation with Maria Byrd Facebook page, or check out my website at www.mariabird.org. Also, you guys, if you want to make a financial contribution to this particular broadcast, please go to Cash App $Maria Byrd. Again, that's Cash App $Maria Byrd. Where, you guys, we are back with my very special guest, none other than Angela Stevenson. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you. It's been an awesome show so far.
It's been an awesome show. And before the break, you were just giving us the 411, the significance on having accountability partners. And so, Angela, I just wanted to dive right back in. When you shared a portion of your testimony, how did you manage, not to be angry? How did you manage not to be bitter?
Oh, Lord, that was God Himself, because I was all those things. I was angry, I was bitter, and again, when you're masking a lot of pain, you're carrying a lot of pain, the weight of the pain, you just become an evil person. And I'm just gonna be transparent. I was just evil. I would fight. Yes, I would. I'll read you your rights. My mom used to say, you don't have to fight anybody physically, because you eat them up with your words. So I was just very vicious with my words.
Wow.
So, but because I was carrying so much anger and pain in me, and I just said one day, God, I don't want to be this way anymore. I don't want to be angry, the person, you're supposed to be saved. And I was, but I still had all this pain. So I don't know how to get over this. I don't know how to heal from it. And I just began to ask God consistently to heal me and to help me not to be so angry anymore. And it was a transition. And I remember one day, even with my abusers, I just realized one day I was not angry, but I knew I was delivered and healed from it when I was able to pray for them. One day I was praying and I was able to call out their name, not because I wanted God to do something evil to them, but I really wanted God to deliver them, to heal them, because I feel like hurt people.
Yes.
So whatever was going on in their lives that caused them to inflict pain upon me, I wanted God to heal them also. That's another subject matter that we talk about at the soap encounter. It's called the villain and the victim. Because you can be a victim, and if you don't heal from being a victim, you become the villain. So you begin to inflict pain on other people if you're not healed. So I didn't want them to continue to inflict the pain. So I asked God to heal, and I knew then that I was healed from whatever and everything that they had done to me. But it was through the grace of God. Nobody could have done that for God, but God. But forgiveness is so powerful.
Talk about that.
And a lot of times we feel like, if I forgive them, I can't forgive them. They did this to me. They did so much. Forgiveness does not mean that they're not guilty of whatever they did. It does not mean that they are no longer accountable or should be held accountable for what they did to you. But forgiveness is for you to heal and release, because as they're living their life, probably thinking nothing about what they've done to you. And here we are still carrying this anger and bitterness around, and they still have control over our lives. But when we learn to forgive, it's like, you don't have that control over me anymore. So you have to pray and ask God to help you. That's like the first step to your deliverance and overcoming your pain, is to forgive, whether it's yourself, because sometimes we have to forgive ourselves.
That's right.
We're guilty of some things that we have done. Sometimes it's not always the other person, but I got to forgive me. Yes, I held a part in something. I did something wrong, but learn how to forgive, whether it's yourself or the other person, so you can be free of that and be healed.
That's right. We have to be free. We have to be healed. And I love how you said one of the ways you really knew that you had walked into your true freedom regarding that is you was able to pray for that person. Not only that, I don't know if you want to share, but you was telling me over the break about how the Lord had raised you up in that person's life.
Yes, because my abuser was a family member. So I saw this person on a consistent basis all the time, And the confusing thing about it when you're a child, when you're growing up, is that this person is telling you that they love you, but they're inflicting this pain. So so I had this confusion about love, as I mentioned earlier before, and love and sex and stuff. But because this person was a relative, I was in their lives consistently, and even as they got older, I had to be there for them, help take care of them in some capacity. And the powerful thing
Come on, Angela.
for me as far as forgiveness is that I learned to forgive, and I forgave before the apology ever came. It was years and years and years, because first of all, it wasn't acknowledged. They didn't want to acknowledge what had taken place. But so God allowed me to forgive and be there and be able still to love them.
Wow.
That's a testimony within itself, that sometimes you have to love through the hurt. But I was able to forgive before the apology ever came. So we have to learn how to do that sometimes. You don't wait on the apology. It may not ever come, but you still have to learn how to forgive. I am grateful and blessed to say that that person finally asked for my forgiveness before they passed away.
Wow.
So the love, which I knew was always there. You know, sometimes people try to compensate because they don't know how to say I'm sorry.
Come on, Angela.
So they try to compensate in other ways. So I knew that they were regretful, but that pride would not allow them to say I'm sorry for years later. But love and kindness have I drawn thee. So the love that I just kept bestowing upon them, it had to come back. And I would say this, is that sometimes we feel like someone does something to us that we have to retaliate, that we have to be revengeful. We're going to get some get back, as they say. But I tell you, there is no greater revenge than when God, vengeance is mine, says the Lord. I shall repay. And I don't want anybody to live to any, I don't wish any wrong thing or a bad thing upon anybody. But I have witnessed it for myself in so many times, that when someone does something wrong to you, just step back and let God do it. He'll do it. And so I've seen the suffering that this person went through, and I feel within my heart that part of that was because of the pain that they inflicted upon me. But I am able to say that they got it right before they passed away.
Yes,
they did. So I love this person, still love them, and love them after the fact, even more, because you were able. And that was something else. I think I felt like I needed it, but even though I had let it go, but when they came and they apologized, oh my gosh, that was just like the final releasing of my healing.
Yes.
And I cried like a baby, because I was just like, oh my gosh, I've been waiting for this almost like all my life. For this grown woman. But it was something about the apology, even though I had already forgiven them, that sealed it. It sealed it. It sealed it. It was like God was saying, okay, this is it. You know, this is the finale of your healing in this area. That was the finale of it. So yeah, it happens. But pray for them, as the Bible says.
That's right.
That despitefully use you and persecute you. It works. It works. It works if you work it. And sometimes it's a bitter pill to swallow. But it works if you work it.
My God, it works if you work it. Yes. And I love how this is. Let me just say thank you. Let me just say thank you for your transparency, because the truth will set us free. And I appreciate the truth that we're experiencing in this place. And so let me ask you this, along the way, there's so many people that can help us along the way. Our village, our support system. Who would you say, our accountability partners, who would you say are those individuals that has acted as your village or your support system along your life's journey?
Oh wow, so many people come to mind, but I have to say my godparents, Bishop and First Lady Graham, they've been in my life since I was a young teenager. They have always supported me and just given me encouragement. May not have understood everything that I was going through, and if they couldn't do anything but pray, prayer is powerful, they would do that. But sometimes just a sounding board. First Lady Graham and I share similar stories, so sometimes I would go and talk to her about some of the things that I was dealing with, and even as a unit in marriage, which shared with me, like, okay, in your marriage, this is how you get through that. He used to share with my husband at the time, like, how to deal with me through these emotional situations, because they come back up sometimes. Just love on her, just tell her that you love her, so they have been key in my life. my best friends, Melissa Washington and Vicky G, very, very imperative people that were in my life, because again, they were my sounding boards. Again, if they didn't understand everything I was going through, both saved individuals, they would always encourage me. You're gonna get through this. They was, and sometimes people see more in you than you see in yourself.
Right.
So they were able to speak to the woman that they knew that I was to be. So they would speak to who I was and bring that into life. So I appreciate them for that. But I have so many other people. I've been blessed to be around some great men of God, whether they knew that they were blessing my spirit through the word or through song or a ministry or not, they were. So I've just been blessed. But those are some key people who were in my life. Yes.
You know, and it's so critical, because oftentimes someone may say, I can attest to that you know, a lot of people come to me and they share what they're going through, but if you find that that's your testimony, that a lot of people find themselves coming to you, it's so critical that in those times that they're sharing and being transparent with you, not only that we are encouraging to them, right? Now, because I'm telling you, people will make critical life decisions based off of a one-on-one conversation.
That's true. That's true.
And so it's critical, not only what we say to them, but it's also critical that we take the time to listen.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I love how you said that. Yes,
true.
Talk about that.
You have to take the time to listen, because sometimes we prejudge people by their actions. And I've learned, because I've been there. People judge me based on what I was doing, but they didn't know why I was reacting.
Now, see, that's good.
The way that I was reacting. So you make these judgments, these prejudgments about people without even talking to them and finding out what the real issue was.
This is good.
You know,
so
it's imperative that we listen to people.
We have
and
to
sometimes
listen.
just be watchful. You know, observant, and ask God to give us a discerning spirit sometimes, because even if they don't share it with you, maybe he'll share it with you. You be like, and then you'll be able to speak to it, and then you're able to minister to or pray for that person, for what they are. But it's imperative, that we listen.
And I love that spirit of discernment. You know, my apostle has been ministering on that spirit of discernment, because of the fact that, again, we will have to be, the Lord will prophetically show you what an individual is going through, because it's easy, like you said, to judge a book by its cover, and you would just say, oh, that person is schizophrenic, that person is bipolar, but that's so dismissive, and that's lazy, because that, you know, we have to begin to really seek the Lord and say, well, God, show me what's not easily seen, show me what I cannot see, show me what the naked eye cannot see.
That's it.
Because they may not be bipolar, they may not be schizophrenic. Maybe it's something that's suppressed.
Yes.
That has not been dealt with.
I'm hurting. Yes. I'm hurting on the inside, you know. And how many oftentimes do we go to church sometimes and we're around the good music and the good word, and the person sitting next to us sometimes won't even speak to us, you know. And it may be, that's my last resort. Like, God, I'm going to church today. I need something from you. And sometimes we have all these distractions, or somebody get up and they play over the word. They ain't really you know what I'm saying? There's so many things that can happen. But we need that discernment.
Yes.
You know, we need that discernment of
it's
spirit.
Critical.
So we're not just preaching cliche words, but that we are preaching words that's going to minister to the heart of the people, because we never know what they are going through.
That's right.
We never know. We never know.
We never know. Can you tell us about your book?
Oh my goodness. So the book, Misery, Mess, and Miracles.
Oh, I love that term. Misery, Mess, and Miracles.
It was written really for my healing.
Woo.
It was really, really written for my healing. And I know people are like, oh, it's a sequel. And let me tell you about this book.
Come on.
When you first read, I had to be very real and transparent in this book. It is fictional, but a lot of my life is poured into this book. So I wanted to reach the people who had dealt with some of the things I had dealt with. So I always tell people, it's not for the church folks. So if you like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she put this in the book. I was writing from a real place, things that I had experienced, and I wanted to reach people who had experienced those things. So sometimes it can't always be a book full of scriptures. Some people need to read the truth.
Yes.
They need to be able to relate to what you're writing about.
Yes.
Everybody's not church. everybody's not church.
Yes.
So I wrote from a real place. So it deals with some of the tragedies. The character in the book is named Yolanda. So from childhood all the way through adulthood, some of the tragedies that she went through in life. Ended up writing a play about it. The play did phenomenal here in Atlanta area as well. But it was really for my healing process as well, because through that I was able to heal, because I had to deal with some areas that I didn't want to deal with. But being able to do so many people have read the book. I'm just like, oh my goodness, I've been blessed by this. That is my story. I just needed to see that somebody else has went through what I went through. So it's been a blessing to so many people. And again, it ties into the soap encounter, because it does talk about some of the things that I've overcome. In the book, it tells the story of how I was able later to meet my birth mom.
Wow, yeah.
So that was a prayer of mine, meet my birth family. So it's a lot of great things in the book. You're going to cry, you're going to laugh. But again, misery, mess, and miracle. When life is full of misery and you are a mess, there's still room for a miracle.
Wow.
And it's available on Amazon.
Yes, available on Amazon. Get that book.
Yes, get the book. It's going to bless your life, as they say. It's going to bless your life.
Yes, and I love how the Lord gave you, because it's similar to how I wrote my book, Touch Free, a curriculum guide to maintaining sexual abstinence, but simply writing your process down.
Yes.
Writing your testimony down. You know, oftentimes people will ask the question, I want to write a book, but I don't know where to begin. How do you start writing? Baby, write your process down.
Write the process down.
Right?
Yes.
What have you been through? Write it down.
Yes. Yep.
Write it down.
Write it down. Write little notes.
Yes.
I tell people who ask me to coach them, like, I want to write a book. Figure out what you want your message to be, first of all. And my message was that you can overcome, no matter how deep in the muck and the mire you are, that you can overcome. God can pull you out. So that was the overall message. But I started with how I wanted the book to end. And then I went backwards, because I knew my ending.
Come on.
So I can work backwards to the beginning. So that's what I did. And that's what I tell people. But start. Just start. Don't figure out how you're going to format it or anything like that just yet. Write down your thoughts. Keep a notepad by your nightstand. Because the Lord may wake you up in the middle of the night with some thoughts and you need to write it down.
Yes.
You can't hold your phone in your hand anymore. But I used to be riding down the highway, especially I'm in traffic, and I would turn on my voice recorder. A thought would come in my mind, and I would record it.
Yes.
And then when I get home, then I type it up or what have you. So there's little things you can do, but just start and work on it every day until completion.
Right. Just start. I like how you said it. Don't so much focus on the structure, or don't so much focus on the punctuation. Don't worry about it.
Yes.
Is it perfect? No, it's not going to be perfect. There may be
Right.
misspellings, there may be typos, there may be grammar issues, but I always encourage people to, for lack of a better way to say it, vomit it out. Get it out on the paper. Get it out. Just get it out, and then you can make sense of it later.
Right, and that's why you have editors and stuff later. You have to get it finished, like then you give it to an editor, and they can work out the punctuations and the grammar issues for you.
That's right. But the first thing you got to do, and I feel led to say this too, another thing that is really good is that if you just get a blank sheet of paper, and because sometimes people may say, well, I've been through so much, I don't know how to even find the words to get it out. Well, what you can do is, when you think about what you're trying to write, write down the words, the phrases.
Yes.
If you say, well, I want to write about my past, my childhood, well, just begin to write some key phrases, some key words that come to your mind.
Right.
If anger comes to your mind, write down anger. If molestation comes to your mind, write down molestation.
Right.
What you're going to do after you look at the paper and you see all of the words, begin to circle the words that are really important, or the ones that you want to highlight.
Yes,
these are going to be your foundation for your chapters.
Yes. Come on, girl.
I'm telling you. It's really more simple than what people think, and you really have to just come outside, because sometimes it can be so analytical.
Yes.
But,
And you're gonna have writer's block sometimes too, but don't think too hard about it, because it'll come. It will come. If you have writer's block, be like, okay, time to take a little break, but it'll come back.
It's gonna come back, and there are some practical things that you can do to overcome writer's block. I'm gonna give a couple of them right now. One of them is use the bathroom. You think I'm playing? One of them is use the bathroom. I'm telling you, because of your block.
You're sitting in a quiet space.
You gotta get your circulation going.
I like that. I never thought of that one. I like that.
We're gonna touch some more on that later. But Angela, this is so good. Let me ask you, how can the people connect with you?
Listen, I'm on social media, so Facebook, Angela E. Stevenson. The Soap Encounter, I have a website, thesoapencounter.com, as well as AngelaEStevenson.com. And I am on Instagram, Soap Encounter, as well as Twitter, the Soap Encounter. So look me up, register for the Soap Encounter. I want to see you there. I want to meet you. I want to shake your hand. I want to even hear your testimonies, possibly, of what God has brought you through. But just register, bring someone, a friend, neighbor, your enemy. They need to be delivered. Bring them too. Bring somebody. Tell somebody. Share it. Thesoapencounter.com is where you can be able to register.
Yes, thesoapencounter.com. You know, Angela, there may be someone that's listening or that's watching via Facebook Live. Maybe they need a little bit of encouragement. Can you just take about 2 minutes to encourage someone that's listening or watching?
I just want to say to whoever is listening or you're watching, regardless of whatever situation that you're in, I've made this on my post today, so I'm going to say this. You are not a mistake. Your life is not an accident. You are here because God purposed for you to be here, and your life has purpose and meaning. You are a benefit to the world. So regardless of what situation you're in, how bad life may look, how cloudy it may be, know that the sun is going to shine and that there's victory. If you can just get through this, there's victory after this. Go through the process. It may be painful, it may be hurtful, but there's purpose behind that pain. So even just, you got to endure. And I know it's not going to be easy. It's not easy. But you are not an accident, and you are not here by mistake. God purposed for you to be here. And the plans that he has for you has not changed. I don't care what you did, what you've done, what you may be doing right now. The plans that God has for you has not changed. So look up and live, because your Redeemer is nigh. Things are going to change for you. It's turning around. Victory is yours. It belongs to you. It has to come to pass. But you cannot give up on God, because he's not giving up on you.
Ooh, yes. Hallelujah. We cannot give up on God.
We can't give up on
because
him.
God is not giving up on us.
Nope.
Wow, this has been amazing.
It has been.
Yes, and I'm just so
much.
excited. I'm excited about the Soap Encounter. I'm excited about, the different things that the Lord has placed in your spirit.
Yes, thank
I'm
you.
telling you,
keep me in prayer.
Yes.
Everybody, keep me in prayer. Keep me lifted up. I need it.
Yes,
I need it. Soap Encounter needs it as well.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we're gonna support you. Well, guys, make sure that where can they register one more time?
SoapEncounter.com. www.soapencounter.com, and just click on the registration page and you'll be able to register.
Yes. Wow,
we're looking forward to having you.
Oh, I'm excited, Angela. I'm
Thank
excited
you.
about
I
the
am
Soap
too.
Encounter. And whatever the Lord has put in your spirit, even after the Soap Encounter, I encourage you to keep going.
Yes, I will, in Jesus' name.
Because it's so critical, it's so crucial, especially now, like you said, oftentimes we want to we suppress things.
Yes.
Oftentimes people deal with shame, but I love this platform of just a safe place.
Yes, a safe place.
The Soap Encounter is a safe place.
A safe place. That is
true.
That is
for
true.
people to share their testimonies, what they've been going through.
Yes, without judgment. Yes, without judgment. Nobody's gonna look at you crazy and cross-eyed, be like, I can't believe she said or he did that. No, it's the safe place. I like that. It's a safe place. Yes,
it is. It's a safe place, and like you said, it's so important that we have that no judgment safe zone.
Yes. Yes.
That's critical.
Because we all overcome something. And sometimes we don't want to tell it. But we all are overcomers. We ex something. Whether we're ex drug users, ex whoremongers, we're ex something. God has delivered us all from something.
Yes, he has delivered us all from something. Wow, you guys, I want to thank again my very special guest, none other than the great Angela Stevenson.
Thank you so much for having
the visionary of the Soap Encounter. Encounter, successfully overcoming all pain. Make sure that you guys register for that awesome encounter. Again, it's going to be August the 16th through the 18th, and we are so excited. We're going to support you.
Thank you.
Yes,
I appreciate it.
Yes. And so you guys, this has been incredible. I want you to make sure that you tune in next week because we have something absolutely amazing prepared for you. Angela, will you come back?
I sure will.
Yes, we have to have you to come back again.
I will.
Yes, thank you so much again for sharing your ministry. And you guys, so that's about all the time that we have for today. Make sure you tune in next week, same time, same place, right here. You are listening to The Conversation with Maria Byrd.
It's a touchdown. Finally found me someone I can really trust now. I always have so much to say, but no one to say it to.
Thank you for tuning in to The Conversation with Maria Byrd every Friday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. on WIGO 1570 AM radio.
So let's have this conversation like a radio station.
WIGO AM 1570.
Well, you guys, again, I want to thank my very special guest, Angela Stevenson, for coming today. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It's been my pleasure and honor.
Yes, ma'am. Well, you guys, make sure that you go out and support the soap encounter. It's going to be epic. Well, you guys, make sure you tune in next week, same time, same place, right here on The Conversation with Maria Byrd.